Alright guys, so when you think it cannot get worse, well, it just got worse. Unfortunately, a very important pipeline got damaged by an airstrike inside of the Ukraine. There was a hub and this hub was apparently destroyed, and there was a lot of destruction, and now this pipeline is damaged and it cannot deliver any oil anymore to Hungary and Slovakia. And that's really bad, because for those two countries they were receiving most of their oil from Russia. Now, of course, because of this incident, Slovakia and Hungary are really furious, and Ukraine is claiming that this was done by Russia, but Hungary and Slovakia, they do not believe it. They are saying that this incident was caused because of political purposes, and they want an investigation. They want Brussels to send inspectors to test claims by Ukraine that it was Russia blowing up this pipeline. Also, Slovakia has responded now by halting all emergency power supplies to Ukraine if they are in need. So in future they will get no electricity anymore if they need electricity from Slovakia. And this is of course really bad, because Slovakia is a direct neighbor and they can take out fluctuations or support Ukraine in terms of the electric grid. So the statement here goes: from today onwards, the Ukrainian side will receive no support if it turns to Slovakia for help in stabilizing the Ukrainian energy grid, says Fico. The measure will only be lifted once oil transit to Slovakia resumes. The move comes amid growing tensions between Kiev and the EU member states Hungary and Slovakia. Both countries remain heavily dependent on Russian oil, which flows through Ukraine. Hungary and Slovakia accuse the Ukrainian leadership of deliberately preventing the resumption of deliveries. Also, Zelensky refuses to repair the Druzhba pipeline, although the European Union insists on it. Then also Hungary announced that they will block a 90 billion loan to Ukraine, but then the European Union has announced that they will circumvent Hungary's blockade if necessary. This will happen one way or another, and they will give the loan to Ukraine even without Hungary's vote. So yeah, if a veto is worth nothing anymore in the European Union, then I'm really asking myself, what kind of thing is this that we are led by, right? Is this still a democracy, or is this just a dictatorship? So now, what are the implications for Hungary and Slovakia? Well, it's really bad for them. Most of the oil that they need was coming out of this pipeline. I think more than 90% of their needs. So it will be really hard to replenish this oil from other sources. It will become much more expensive, which means that the industry there will suffer. A lot of companies might close because of high energy costs. And in general, Eastern European countries are doing much better right now because of several factors. But still, with a situation like this happening, it will make things more difficult for companies to survive, for people to survive. Also, the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban is now deploying soldiers. Viktor Orban is taking a confrontational stance. On Wednesday, he ordered the deployment of soldiers and increased police forces to protect Hungary's energy infrastructure. We are deploying to repel attacks near important energy facilities. He also announced a drone ban near the Ukrainian border and the immediate deployment of soldiers to 2 power plant substations and control centers. Actually, since January 27th, no oil has flown through this pipeline. The data clearly shows this unprecedented shutdown has political and not technical reasons. The Ukrainian government is exerting pressure on Hungary and Slovakia. I therefore strengthened the protection of critical energy infrastructure. So having access to cheap energy is vital for an economy, and it's also vital for middle class to build wealth. And that also means that if you want to supply Hungary and Slovakia from the other side, from the European Union side with gas, that they will get their gas, but then also in those countries the gas will become more expensive. So because of this, also other countries are now going to suffer as well. And this only perpetuates the situation that we are already in. We are in a situation where there's an energy crisis, but the energy crisis is not from a natural cause, but because of really bad political leadership, and therefore our economy is wrecked every day. And it's a slow downward spiral where people are leaving, companies are leaving, and if you decide to stay in Europe and fight for your existence, for your house, for example, or for your flat that you have worked for your entire life, then you will be having a hard time just fighting for your existence because everything is getting so expensive, right? Electricity, heating your house, food, just pumping your car full with diesel or gas is going to become so expensive. So all of this is going to make life in Europe even more difficult to survive. Alright guys, so before we can continue with this video, I just wanted to let you know that I have to take up affiliate programs because actually YouTube is censoring my videos. They are not sending out my videos to all of my subscribers. Only a certain part is getting them. Other people are getting unsubscribed, or they don't see my videos in months or weeks. Sometimes you will see my video in a week from now after posting. So YouTube has become unreliable, and therefore I have to take up affiliate programs. And the company Oldenwolf is really awesome. They are really supporting my channel, so I'm really thankful for this company. They produce excellent knives for a really good price, and they also have a warehouse in the US. So if you purchase a knife from them using my discount code Lilly10, you will get the knife, or for example this knife sharpener, sent to your place directly from the US, so you don't have to deal with any customs, and you will also get the product rather quickly. So within 2 to 4 days it should arrive at your doorstep. And this here is a really great knife sharpener with several different sharpening options. So if you're interested in this small tool here, just check out the affiliate link below, and that's actually the best way to support my channel. Also, the grid in Europe is becoming more and more unstable with every year. That's because of the renewable energies, which have a lot of spikes and downs, and it's very hard to smooth out those spikes. So because of this, actually a blackout becomes very likely or possible. And now even politicians are aware of this. So for example, in Austria, the National Council in Vienna has made a new law. And with this law, companies can be required to stockpile supplies. The National Council has created a legal framework for improved food stockpiling. The Minister of Agriculture has emphasized food security is not a given, therefore it is necessary to expand precautionary measures. So basically they are telling companies like supermarkets, but also other companies behind the supermarkets, to stockpile food. Among other things, the plan stipulates that strategic, public or mandatory private provisions must be in place beforehand. This will also involve a survey of existing stockpiles to determine the necessary reserves. Retailers will be compensated accordingly by the state if they are required to provide these reserves. It will also be ensured in a crisis no exorbitant prices are created. Instead, the average price over the past 12 months will be used as a benchmark. The COVID-19 pandemic, international conflicts and disruptions to global supply chains have underscored the importance of robust crisis preparedness. Recent blackouts in Europe, including Germany, have also demonstrated the critical importance of ensuring a reliable food supply. Wow, I have to say I'm really amused because it sounds like a prepper wrote this article, right? This is how Austria is reacting to crises like these. I hope that other countries are reacting the same. That's actually something good. And just when you think that taxes are so high, politicians will not raise taxes even more, well, you're wrong again. Now in Germany, German politicians are thinking about introducing a CO2 tax on washing machines. Yes, you heard it right. Washing machines. That's a big change. In the future, 180 industrial products, including household goods, will be subject to the European Union CO2 tariff. This means the levy will also apply to appliances like washing machines, as announced by the Brussels authority. Until now, only basic materials such as steel, aluminium, cement and electricity have been covered with a CO2 tariff. So now they go on and tax smaller devices, electrical devices, because apparently they need more taxes. So taxing the industry, the car industry for example, is not enough. Actually we have like free CO2 taxes on cars. So when you purchase a new car in Austria, you pay Nova, which is a CO2 based tax. Then you also pay, I think, a CO2 tax with the insurance. And also if you fill up your vehicle with gas or diesel, you pay a CO2 tax. So it's like free taxes for your car, but that's not enough for politicians. So now they want to collect even CO2 taxes for bigger industrial products, including washing machines. I'm sorry, I have to laugh. It's so ridiculous. I have to start laughing. It's like people are at the edge of their existence, and then the government has nothing to do better than increasing the taxes even more. Crazy! According to the Commission, 180 products made from steel and aluminium will be subject to the levy in the future. 94% of these are industrial goods, with an average steel and aluminium content of 79%. These include, for example, specialized equipment, metal brackets and cylinders. Also, our grid is not made to support big loads like electric cars and heat pumps. So a small percentage is fine, but now with more and more electric cars and heat pumps, first of all you have a pressure on your electric grid because actually the cables are not thick enough, and that also weakens our power grid of course, but also because of the increase in electricity demand, electricity becomes more expensive. That's a huge problem. And now also in Austria, the police have stated that they don't want to have electric vehicles anymore for police cars because they are unsuitable. So the Ministry of Interior has pulled the plug. The end of the line for electric cars in police operations. Electric cars are being removed from police service because they are simply unsuitable. The reason for this lie primarily in the charging infrastructure and the increased overall weight due to the tactical equipment. Furthermore, there's simply not enough space for the equipment, and because fugitives rarely adhere to speed limits, the Volkswagen's top speed is only 160 kilometers per hour, which is just simply too low to capture any criminals. Currently, only the use as courier vehicles outside of police operations is viewed as positive. What else is going on? According to a survey, a majority believes that children are becoming almost unaffordable in Germany. According to a survey, more than half of Germans believe that having children is no longer affordable. 81% of respondents primarily base their stance on high living costs, such as rent, food and energy. 59% also cited taxes and levies as a significant burden, and 48% believe that government support for families is insufficient. 58% of respondents complained about lack of daycare and childcare places. 40% cited income losses due to parental leave or part-time work as a decisive factor. More than 60% of the age group 30 to 49 years consider having children financially unsustainable. Given the low birth rates of recent years, this is a political warning sign. The German government is collecting a whole lot of taxes from its citizens, but that's still not enough. The government deficit in Germany will rise again sharply to almost 120 billion euros in 2025. So here they are writing, despite rising tax and social security revenues, the government recorded a financing deficit of 120 billion euros in 2025. Alright guys, so this is it for today. Thank you for watching, and also at the end of the video, please check your subscription status, because it could be that you were unsubscribed from my channel without your consent. Thank you for watching guys, and stay tuned till next time.